Hey, welcome to another Fretboard Forensics with me, Reese Gerwin. I want to start by saying thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for liking my other videos. Thank you if you bought my book. If you are one of the 10 people, woohoo, 10 people who bought my book, then thank you. And of course, thank you for watching and clicking on my video. So anyway, I'll get right into it. This is another music theory video, and I think that it's going to be a fun one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a shape. Okay, this is the shape we're going to use. This is a C, the 3rd fret of the A string, and an E, the 5th fret of the B string. And this is what you call a 10th. Okay, so it's a C and an E. Now, C, D, E equals a 3rd. But if you go all the way up, F, G, A, B, C, D, E to 10, then you get a 10th, right? So a 3rd and a 10th are the same thing. When you're counting with your fingers, letters and numbers, sharps and flats aren't really important, because sharps and flats are there because you're in a certain key. So I'm going to connect those two things here in just a second. So we have this 10th, and I'm going to use the G string here to kind of blackbird it, so to speak. So this is what I like to call blackbirding. Okay, so it sounds really nice. It's a really good way to warm up. It's a good way to get to know your keys and to just explore the guitar in a really fun way. So in C major, right, this circle, you ought to be familiar with this circle if you want to get better at music theory and all that. But in the key of C major or A minor, you do not have any sharps and flats. But here's the trick. The way you can find the shapes in a key quickly, so let's say I'm in the key of C, is you want to know which chords are major and which chords are minor. Okay, so let's start with that. Know the major or the minor chords. Well, when you're looking at this, you actually have a pretty quick answer for that. C is major, G is major, and F is major in the key of C. So you kind of take these 6 letters right here, and that is the chords in the key of C minus your B natural. But B is kind of over here, so it's like you're taking these right there. So in C major, you'll have the 1 chord, which is C, the 4 chord, which is F major, and the 5 chord, which is G major. So you know the 1, 4, and the 5 are major. And this is one of the best use cases for understanding keys, really, is knowing which chords are major and which chords are minor, because then you can navigate a lot better that way. So the inside of the circle here is minor chords, right? So you have D minor, which is the 2 chord, E minor, the 3 chord, and then A minor, the 6 chord. And so those numbers are 1, C major, 2, D minor, 3, E minor, 4, F major, 5, G major, 6, A minor, and then you have your B diminished, okay? In this case, the diminished part doesn't matter, but I'll show you. So we have C major, and we're doing this blackbirding thing where you're taking the G, and then I'm just, I'm hybrid picking, but you can just use middle and index and thumb. That's fine. Whatever you want to do. So this could be, if you're trying to get into hybrid picking too, this could be a good exercise for that as well, because it's not super intense. So our 1 chord, C major, right? So we have this shape. Now if we move it up to D, then we need this shape, because D in the key of C, D minor, right? D is minor. The 2 chord in any key, all keys, doesn't matter what key. You'll see as we do this. So D is minor, okay, E is minor, F is major, G is major, A is minor, thank goodness I have a cutout, B is diminished, but it looks like a minor, because a diminished is a minor chord with a flat 5, or a diminished 5th, and for this exercise, it kind of doesn't really matter. It actually is more like a G chord, but it looks like a minor chord, so we're just going to call it B minor for right now. So B minor, and then we go back to C. So we have all 7. So we got C major all the way up here, B minor, A minor, G major, F major, E minor, D minor, C. And you can go back to this is blackbirding because I mean it literally uses those shapes, right? So it's a great way to, if you really like that song and you kind of want to write something like it but don't just copy it, obviously, then yeah, you can do some blackbirding and see what you like. That being said, let's review the key of C. We got C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B minor, C, B minor, A minor, G, F, E minor, D, C. Okay, so let's say you want to do that in a different key, you know? Maybe you want to go to G major. So, if you haven't watched my video about the circle of fifths, then I suggest doing that. So, that's going to help you understand what a key signature is, which quite literally is just what are the different notes. So every single key, as a rule, has A, B, C, D, E, F, G in it. Okay, it starts on different notes, so it might start on F, it might start on C, it might start on G, it might start on E, it might start on A, blah, blah, blah. But you get a certain amount of sharps, or not and, a certain amount of flats. And this side of the circle is flat, this side of the circle is sharp. But I'm not going to go over that. Watch that video if you're going to get lost here. So G has 1 sharp. Okay, so this same pattern, C and E, right? I can just change the F sharp in this pattern. I can just start on the same chord, and then I can go to D major, because now I'm in the 4 chord. I'm in the 4 chord of the key. Because if I'm in G, then C is the 4, right? And if you just look over here, this direction on the circle, then you can see that that's the 4, because this way you go in fourths, and this way you're traveling in fifths over the circle. So now that we're in the key of G, I'm just going to do that exact same thing, but with an F sharp. So I got C major, 4, D major, 5, E minor, 6, 7, F sharp minor, or it's F sharp diminished, but in this case, right, like I said, it's not that important. And then we have the 1 chord, G major, the 2 chord, A minor, and then B minor and C major. Yeah. Now, let's do the same thing in F. Okay, so the key signature for F, well, just look over 1 key. It's B flat. So F is the same as C major, it just has a B flat in it. And it turns out Blackbird actually uses both of these keys. G major, it uses some stuff from C major, and it uses some stuff from F. So pretty interesting. Now, we're going to do the same thing. We got the 5 chord. Now that we're in the key of F, C is now the 5 chord. Because if you look here, got F, C is 5. So we got, all I'm changing is B flat. But you can still use these same shapes in the left hand to travel through the major and the minor qualities. So we got 5, 6, D minor, and then we have 7, E diminished, or E minor, F major, G minor with a B flat, A minor, the 3rd, and then B flat, which is the 4th, and then C. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 1. So all I changed was 1 note and played out those functions. So that song literally goes 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 5, right? That's the song. Hope that doesn't give me some copyright issues. Anyway, so I only want to do it with those keys to make this video sort of a reasonable amount of time. And you can do the same thing in minor. You just have to think in minor, okay? Now minor is a whole sort of different video, I think. We could do a longer video on that, but I think that sort of covers like what you can do. You can also do different scales with this. So, but if you want to get better at your scales and you want to get better at your keys, I suggest starting with the circle of fifths and just getting to know this concept right here. I mean, there's so much here that you can learn about music in general, and there's so much to play with. You know, I was teaching a student last night just about this exact thing, and we kind of landed on it's like a game. Music in a lot of ways is like playing a game that makes pretty sounds, right? So if you can use this sort of, I don't want to call it the rules of the game, but in a sense, it's like the language of the game. It's the inner workings. It's the physics of the game, right? So this will really help you understand what music is about, and it'll help you make better music, and it's not going to make music less creative and inspiring, and quite the contrary. That's one way that I have used it to make my music more interesting. And not just that, I now understand what I'm doing and I can teach it to other people. It's incredibly valuable. So embrace music theory, embrace the circle of fifths. I didn't really go through much in my book about this, but you know, my book has all kinds of shapes that I use just like this that you can apply to this very concept. And yeah, thanks again to everyone who has bought it and watched this video. Like the video, subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day.